welcome back. It's been a wee while since I last did anything to the bike due to personal circumstances. I had a wee spell out there. I didn't really feel much like doing anything, to be honest with you. But back in the workshop, and haven't made much progress because of other issues. Today I thought, right, okay, I want to get the bike back level again and get it running. And typical bloody Honda, it's been off for a couple of months, and it fires up more or less no problem. A little bit of spinning to start with, but nothing that you wouldn't expect after it not running for a while. But away she went, and it didn't take too long to get her off the choke. I did have her running a wee bit earlier, so she'll not be quite right at the moment. She's running fine, you know, after that long period of not running. And I haven't really made much progress. I have cleaned up the front end a bit, and I'm still working on that. And I'm going to drop the radiator out when I go to do the valves. So I'm going to take the radiator out of the way just to make life easier, and then I'm going to give it all a bit of a clean up and a paint. Probably might do some of the engine covers and get those painted up a bit. I'm not going to go overboard, you know, I'm not going to go bother on trying to paint anything. You know, it's quite clean behind here, but I'm not going to try and paint any of this because I just think it ends up looking worse than it does looking better. And you know, once the fairings are on and that, you're not going to see. As long as it's clean, that's going to be the main thing for me. So the other thing that I have been doing, or I did work on for a little spell, was obviously I've got the fork legs off, and I started to clean those up, and you know, I'm still working on those at the moment. I've got a bit more work to do on those. But what I did do was, out of the spare wood I had left over from the workshop build last year, I've made this little sort of spray booth. And what I've done is I've cut holes in the top here so that I can dangle things down and hang things down. And I've got various holes here. And I've just made it custom spoke for this fork leg. And I'm going to use these clamps here, and if I put the clamp up here and lift the leg up, I can actually clamp it in place, and then it's away from the deck and I can spin it. I've still got a bit of work to do in this fork leg, but eventually I'm getting to the point where I will be painting it. And so I've made myself this little spray booth area just so that I don't, you know, get it everywhere in the workshop. I will have the doors open obviously and have a mask on and everything. It's not going to take a lot of paint to do this. I've got the other fork leg to finish off, and then obviously I'll have to still mask up some of these holes, but I will do that. And then same with the brake caliper. The brake caliper, sitting behind here, I've got some junk to tidy up. So I've got brake caliper behind here, which I've been cleaning up. This is the one that I'm going to operate with a banjo bolt, so it'll be getting close to getting painted as well. And what I've done is I've bought this, I bought a dummy petrol tank because I'm going to take the petrol tank off. And if you look here, you can see there's a dimple on either side. Now, I think I mentioned before, the chap said when he bought it, and the chap that had this had it for about 18 years. When he bought it before, it had a dent in the tank, but the other dent he did himself. He just dropped something in the tank. Now I'm going to take the tank off. I'm not looking to get it refurbished because I'm not looking to respray the bike or anything. I'm trying to keep it just as it is, you know, nice and original. Not going to do too much different from it. I'm doing it's not a restoration, it's a refurbishment, really, a kind refurbishment, just to keep it, you know, in top shape and keep it going and preserve it. That's what I'm really doing, is I'm trying to preserve it. Maybe one day I might get round to actually doing a proper restoration, but you know, but I want to get some years out of the bike and get some use out of it. So I'm just trying to minimise doing too much, because when you start these things, you start off with, you know, one thing, then another, then another, then another, and it just grows into this huge list. And before you know it, you're bloody restoring it, you know. Now I might give the wheels a refresh, and those kind of things. Front brake calipers will get done, and fork legs will get done, so they'll get cleaned up. The bike will get serviced. I bought a dummy petrol tank, so I'm going to take this off, and I've got a petrol bottle that I'll be able to connect up to the carburetors. I've also bought a carburetor synchronizer, so I'll have that when I need it. And I came across this, and you know, I need to stay out of Aldi's, because every time I go in, I find stuff and I end up more stuff to put in the workshop. But I found this strip of hooks, so I thought what I might do is I might cut the strip, or I might keep it in one, but I might cut it actually, or I might cut it into individual hooks, and I'm going to put them up here, exactly where I'll need to hang the petrol tank, the little dummy petrol tank that I've got. And so I needed something to put on the ceiling, and I just thought this will be perfect, this will do the job. And I might just use a couple of hooks just to give me a couple of hook positions that I can maybe hang stuff up on if I have to, above the bike. So that's a wee task for me. Another thing in Aldi's, just again, something to put up in the workshop somewhere for keeping bits and bobs. And that really is where I'm at the moment. It's not much progress. I have ordered, you can see, this here was me buffing the, this here was me building this, because it was pouring rain outside and I couldn't do it outside, so I did it inside, and oh god, the sawdust was everywhere. So I'm not going to touch this. This will all get washed down when I'm done and dusted, excuse the pun. And that's kind of it. I've ordered a full service kit for the bike. It's coming today actually. I've already got an oil filter and so forth for it, but by the time I added up the price of plugs and filters and all the bits and bobs, you're just as well buying a service kit from some place like Moto. And the oil and filter will do me another year when I'm just doing the oil and filter. So, you know, I just went for the whole kit. And that will allow me to get the plugs and that done, the air filter, as well as, you know, the usual stuff. I'm going to check the compressions, I'm going to pop the valve covers off, I'm going to check the valve clearances. If we get into that world of pain, then we'll look at that differently when that time comes. I don't want the bike to be off the road too long, and I feel like the more I delve into it, the longer I'm making it. You know, it's just getting my head down and dedicating to put the time in to get it done. I know that if I was to work on it more steady and more constant, I would get things done quicker. Where I'm just chipping away at things and doing other things as well at the moment. But anyway, that's where I'm at, and I think the paint booth, although it's, you know, it's something like the Flintstones, you know, it'll do the job. It'll certainly do the job and allow me to paint things and leave them hanging, and I can get a good temperature in here as well. I will obviously cover the bike this time to make sure that there's no chance of any overspray. But that's the position I'm in at the moment. So not really much more to show you or to report on the bike. A very short workshop video. I will get back to you when I've got a bit more to show you. Maybe once I get the legs painted and so forth, and start actually maybe getting the bike serviced and so forth. I'll catch up with you then. But apart from that, that's it. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye.